Okay, using number lines to solve multiplication problems. Multiplication is figuring out how many groups of equal amounts you have. So for example, it might be 3 times 3 or 4 times 4, and you know that if that's the case that you've got 4 groups and there's 4 pieces in each group. So for example, here's another one. 4 times 5 is 4 groups of 5 pieces. The first factor, which is the 4, it tells you how many groups you have, and the second factor tells you how many pieces are in each group. So you can see here again, 4 times 5 is 4 groups of 5 pieces. Now, what we want to do is we want to come up with a strategy, and we're going to use the strategy of using a number line. So I have a number line here, and you can see that I have some red arrows. And what those red arrows tell me, they tell me a couple of different things. First, they tell me how many groups I have, and then they tell me how many pieces are in each group. So if we look at this particular number line, the first thing we want to do is we want to count how many groups or how many jumps. So we always start on the 0 right here, and we're going to trace the arrow just like it is here. I'm going to trace it in orange. That's 1 jump, 2 jumps, 3 jumps. So our first factor that we're going to write is a 3, because there's 3, 1, 2, 3. Alright, if it makes it easier, you can always number them like this, 1, 2, 3, whatever makes it easier for you to solve. So we have 3 jumps, and then we need to count how many pieces are in each jump. So count with me. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We stopped there, so let's see if they're all equal. 1, 2, 3, 4. We stopped on the 8. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4. We stopped on the 12. There are 4 in each group. So again, since multiplication is how many groups and how many pieces are in each group, 3 times 4 equals 12. So our answer here, because you can see where we ended, was 12. 3 times 4 equals 12. Let's try another one. Okay, this time, remember, we're going to count the groups. So we have 1, 2. So our first factor is 2, and we're going to count how many pieces are in each group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We stop there. Okay, so 7 in the first group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 in the second group, so we're going to put a 7 as our second factor. And we ended on the 14, so 2 times 7 is 14. Now sometimes you might be given the multiplication problem and you're not sure how to solve it. And so you can use the number line to help you figure out what the product is. The product is the answer to a multiplication problem. Remember, the first number that we see, the first factor, is how many jumps, how many groups we're going to have. The second one tells us how many are in each jump. So in this particular problem, 4 times 2, we're going to jump 4 times, and we're going to jump 2 each time. So here we go. Let's do this in red. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, let's count 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and we did 4 jumps. 4 times 2 is 8. Our answer to 4 times 2 is 8. Nicely done, nicely done. Okay, here's another one. Remember the first factor? First factor tells us how many jumps we're going to do, so this time we're going to do 5 jumps. The second factor tells us how many pieces are in each one, and where we stop jumping is going to be the product. It's going to be the answer. So 5 jumps, start at 0, jump to the 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Did I jump 5 times? 1, 2, see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I jumped 5 times. 1, 2, 3 in each group, and I stopped on, looks like 15 was my target, so 5 times 3 is 15. So that is how you can use a number line to help you solve a multiplication problem. Just remember that the first factor, the first number in the problem, is how many groups or how many jumps you're going to make. The second factor is going to be how many pieces are in each one of those jumps.